be amazed.
Hunter.
We're good. I think we're live.
We're live.
Hey, Coach Hanzo, welcome to Rhode Island.
Hey, Coach. It's good to be here.
Yep.
Last regular season game before playoffs.
Yeah.
Scenic Rhode Island. What have you learned about Rhode Island, Coach?
You know what? It's some 50,000 hours away from Indiana, Pennsylvania. It's been quite a bus ride here. And, here we are back in game 2. I don't think we put our best foot forward yesterday, just the logistic of travel. We never got off the bus last night. So let's just leave it at that. Today's a new day. You said the last regular season game before playoffs. It's really hard to think about, you're in training camp in September, and it really seems like a blink of an eye, and here we are February 15th staring down the last game of the season. So we've had a lot of, highs, lows, a lot of wins, a lot of losses, a ton of saves, good bit of just quality college hockey, and the best is yet to come, as they say.
Yeah, that's for sure. So tonight we're looking at something a little bit different. We want to get some guys in the lineup and get them some reps that haven't been in the lineup the last few weeks. We're resting some of our top players as well. Shane Miller, Kyle Ziemba, Hunter Fairman, and of course Moose didn't make the trip, our #1 goaltender as well. So we're going to give some other guys a chance to step up, because when playoffs roll around, obviously we're going to need everybody to step up.
Yeah.
So what adjustments do you make tonight, Coach, with a lineup that as you have tonight?
So I think we have a lot of depth up front today, and as we saw yesterday, Rhode Island's very strong down the middle. They definitely come at you and they start a cycle. They don't really score a lot of goals off the rush. They look to get the pucks in the corner and beat you out of the corner and get to the net. They bring 2 guys to the net. So we stacked up on centers tonight so we can fortify down the middle, do a little bit of man-on-man in our own end below the circles, and just change our approach to D zone, which is rare for us. We usually can stay in our system and just work minor adjustments. Tonight I think we're looking for our first guy back, generally a center, to really man-on-man and go 3-on-3 low. Let's just beat him man per man here.
So it looks like tonight, Coach, we got a couple extra forwards in the lineup tonight. You actually got 4 lines and then some.
Yep.
How do you plan on getting everybody?
I think we're going to rotate down the middle, and we're going to be very selective on who we use special teams wise, just because of what we face next week. Next week, not looking past anything here, but there's a bit of auditions here. We're looking to see who we can use as killers, and really who's the best 10 guys to use for power play tonight. So a little bit of, as you say, an audition, Coach.
Yeah. So the fun part about tonight's broadcast is the fact that this could be our last one of the season, obviously. Yeah. Josh and Alex, shout out to those guys that will be doing the game. They've done a tremendous job for us. Certainly have upgraded our broadcast capabilities, and it helps out with recruiting and parents alike who can't make the trip to Rhode Island. And for those of you who can't come to Rhode Island, Coach, would you put it on your bucket list?
I would not. No, just because of the logistics of the travel. I think the coaching staff here at Rhode Island has been tremendous.
Yes.
Their facility's great. I just think that we look back at this one and say let's do this logistically a little different. And
I think plan on a return trip in 2029.
Yeah, I think it's a quality team. I like the hockey. The travels a little bit. Again, we just need to rework it, much like everything else we do. Sometimes we do it right. Sometimes we land on our knees for the landing, huh?
Yeah, but we learn from it, right?
Yeah, we do.
Learn from it. So, real quick, the exciting part of the broadcast as well is we're going to have some of our players do a little color tonight. Shane Miller will be involved, Kyle Ziemba, Hunter Fairman. They're going to add a little bit of a color to the broadcast tonight.
Yeah.
What about that, Coach?
So, I mean, we get to see them every day at the rink. We get to share their enthusiasm on the bench, whether it's scoring a goal or just picking a guy up. These guys are they're quite humorous young men, and we have the privilege of experiencing them 5, sometimes 7 days a week, and I hope that the people at home get to see the same kind of fun that we do. Truly, everyone on truly just spectacular young men. No matter who, no matter what number we're talking about that's wearing the Crimson Hawk sweater this year and years past. There's a ton of fun. There's not a week that goes by that one of these guys don't say something, and I just crack up. They say things I've never heard. So It's quite, it's quite the experience.
So as we close the last final segment of Coach's Corner for 2024-25, Coach, I got a letter.
Who'd you get a letter from in the mailbag? This mailbag is, it's always a shock to me.
I got a letter from Herman Strongstein from nearby Clymer, Pennsylvania.
It's a beautiful town.
Yeah, Herman wants to know what your thoughts are and your predictions for the CHMA playoffs.
So CHMA playoffs, I mean, we're solidly locked in at first place, followed by John Carroll Kent. Then I think it's a little bit of a toss-up there. You have West Virginia, Robert Morris, and Duquesne finishing up. I truly think we're going to see WVU, and then we're going to see Kent in the final. Both teams that we'll face are, teams that come at us and give us their best. I think you got to get past that West Virginia before you start thinking about who's playing Saturday.
It's one shift at a time.
One shift at a time.
Cliche, but we're going to take that mindset into tonight's game.
And let's remind everyone, we're at South Point, which we got the playoff primer email that the coaches get in this CHMA. It'll be an exclusive broadcast that they're still working out the details. So we may not be able to bring you the quality broadcast and color that you're accustomed to.
But we want to see them in person.
Yeah, we'd like to see in person. That's down at it's South Point as we know it. I don't know the name of the rink.
I think it's a Printscape Arena.
Printscape, yeah. For those of you that are around the rink for a couple of years, it's South Point to us.
Yeah, always be South Point.
Yeah, so. Okay, Coach, let's go.
Well, we're going to be on the air at 5 p.m. next Saturday.
Yeah, 5 p.m. Yep, we go first place plays Saturday. We have 5 p.m. down at South Point.
Let's go ahead and get a three-peat, Coach.
Yep, good job, Coach.
Thanks.
Good afternoon. For the final time of the regular season, the Crimson Hawks facing off against the University of Rhode Island on the road in the second game of 2 games in this weekend series. I'm Alex Donaldson, alongside me Josh Yates, and we'll hear from some of the Crimson Hawk players during intermission. But until then, we have an exciting first period on hand in this game.
Exciting is definitely the right word to use for this matchup ahead of us last night. Of course, the Rhode Island Rams came out and sort of put the Crimson Hawks on their heels early. They held that lead all the way through. 6-2 was the final score there. So certainly the Crimson Hawks looking to come out early and, of course, reverse that story as they're going to sort of be put in their defensive zone here early.
Get a look at the Crimson Hawks starters as they regain possession. Sela and Soy rounding out the back two. And then the 3 forwards up front starting tonight, London, Johnston, and Maddox Rurick already out there trying to forecheck on this play. Of course, between the pipes, Nathan Gates, who got the start last night, didn't make it past the first period. Now he's back in net, and he has a heavy one in front of him.
Yeah, like you said, Gates had to start, a rough start at that. A lot of the goals he gave up were not entirely his fault, although. So certainly he's going to look for some more help from his defensive pairings. Of course, look to be able to see those shots a little bit clearer off the sticks of the Rams. We saw a lot of shots were, of course, piled on to Nathan Gates and Connor Halpert last night. They certainly led the shot department by the end of the 60 minutes. So again, coaching staff for the Crimson Hawks, Joe Honzo and Dom Glavich, along with Gavin Cummings, will look for an answer.
Yeah, they're looking to get off to a better start. We heard it all the way on the way back to the hotel last night on the bus that the players were saying, look, it wasn't Gates' fault. But of course, the players need to step up and, of course, know their assignments and know what they're getting into today. Of course, they don't have a several-hour bus trip behind them today like they did yesterday. So hopefully a quicker start for IUP, as Donovan already showing that skating ability as he heads into the zone, cutting it into the middle. The clear is kept in by Hoffman. He forwards it. And Loza trying to catch up to this one along the boards. The poke. Landgraf takes a hit against the boards. Can't stay up. And Shaw will move it around this way for the Rams to move it up ice. Excuse me, more for the Rams. Now a turnover here as into the zone, forcing it early, and glove save by Gates as he was able to shut down Lombardo, who was looking to get the scoring started off a Hawks turnover. But there's the goaltending keeping the team in it.
Yeah, fantastic save by Gates. Of course, the second shot of the game was sort of a tough-handled fumbling puck that fell off the blade of Ty Burkett. We said Lombardo went all the way through, but Gates saw the shot, and the score stands 0-0.
Malloy caught a piece of that puck and ended up forcing the turnover, but luckily the Hawks get it back here. As it's Zach Soy on the near side, he'll find the far side, Evan Sela, and he'll try to move it up ice. Adams stopped at the blue line. His second attempt, he'll just wrap it around and look to get his lines deep. Now Rurick with a quick pass, trying to find a man in the middle. Now to the high slot, Sela will send it around below the goal line. Pass into the middle again, targeting Malloy, as number 7's been targeted a couple times in the offensive zone on this rush.
Yeah, and I see why last night number 7 had that missile of a one-timer that was one of the 2 scores for the Crimson Hawks. Of course, the other coming from Shane Miller on that breakaway opportunity. So certainly they're looking for number 7 to be that spark plug for their offense.
There's a nice hit by Dixon that jarred the puck loose, but the Rams still alive since that play. As now they send it in from the point as Reinhold finds a man forward. Martucci trying to find a little bit more space. The tie-up by Dixon keeping his man off, but the puck still possessed by URI. And Winsky takes a hit along the far boards, but luckily got his man off. And a loose puck poked ahead. So Crimson Hawks look to exit the zone here.
You know, we saw a lot of physicality towards the end of the game last night, and it sort of got a little bit out of hand on both sides of the ice. So certainly the physicality is going to be a story in this game as well. So we already see some early contact on the boards and even in the middle of the ice as well.
So this pass floated through center, intercepted and sent the other way. Bauer has it. His shot off the pad of Gates, and the rebound finish. Number 5 getting in there, Jarrett Smith, up from the defensive position in the slot, and he gets a scoring started early.
Yeah, like you said, it will be Cameron Smith that nets that one. A tough rebound off the pads of Nathan Gates. There's 3 shots in. The score is 1-0. So we'll head back to the face-off here. Correction, it was actually Cameron Sear for the Rhode Island Rams netting that one. So we'll see yet again the Crimson Hawks put back on their heels early, and we see a stop there by Gates. And we'll see another defensive zone draw here for the Crimson Hawks.
And that we will. The 2 teams to the right of Nathan Gates, still 5-on-5 action.
5 out there currently. Spencer Johnson taking that draw. The defenseman going to be Zach Soy and Sean Donovan. And of course, finish off the forwards group, Trent London and Maddox Rearick. Those 3 forwards did a lot of work last night playing off the puck. So we see a big open ice hit there. Trent London with the reverse hit. And the puck's reversed the other way.
Yeah, you like to see the forwards stepping up with the physicality, but they need to get the puck back here as that one off iron. As they're looking for the glove side of Gates. Market forwards this one. London will see it down the ice after a strong shift, and the forwards will get off for the most part. Forwarded into the IUP zone. Unable to catch up to it, and Maddox Rearick sees it go out. It'll be McKinnon with the puck. He's stripped by Landgraf, playing aggressive at the blue line. Got it to Loza for the quick shot as he gets a snapper on over top of the net and wide. Now tie up along the boards. 2 Hawks in the area. Possession still in favor of the Rams right now, as is the shot total. 4-1 in that department. Crimson Hawks want to get more rubber on here. As Loza with the tip in front. It was blocked, and he couldn't get a hold of the rebound to finish the shot. Now a hit on this side of the ice, and that's going to draw a crowd right at the red line. Landgraf throwing that hit, and plenty of words for the opposition as well, but no call at the moment, and the call will be against the Rams. You see Gates leaving the net, and now a player goes in from the Rams and removes the net himself.
Yeah, a weird situation. Play kind of stopped on the center line while those 4 players were sort of in that scuffle. The puck was sort of unmanned in the Crimson Hawks zone. Like you said, the hand went up against the Rams. We saw Nathan Gates skate to the bench, and it was one of the forwards for URI that skated into the net and blew the whistle dead.
Shane Mulhorn's going to sit for 2 minutes, and I'm surprised they don't get another one for taking that net off. Normally that's a delay of game, especially with the intent that he had in that situation. Obviously wasn't rushing the empty net on a delayed penalty. Either way, the Crimson Hawks will get started with a 5-on-4 PPC power play. As their first 2 minutes of special teams, they'll have a man up. Donovan to the far side. London this way. Now Maddox Rearick will just backhand one around for Johnston. And trying to forward it. Got it to Rearick, who gets it to London, but he couldn't keep it in the zone. Too much on that pass, and it heads out. Now around to the far side. Donovan keeps it in at the line. And now forwards it to Rearick. Back out to the point. Donovan looks back to Jace Rearick. Now from the high slot, pad save. As the starting netminder for URI, Callum Burgess, able to get the pad on it. Now back to Maddox Rearick, a wide open shot. It deflected on its way in, but a close deflection, and it hits the pad. The rebound comes out. Just about halfway through the man advantage. Rearick tried to find it on the far side. Trying to sneak it in that corner, but the goaltender ready. The rebound comes all the way down, officially a minute off.
Yeah, we saw Burgess sort of tested for the first time in chaos here tonight. One of the seniors that was recognized for URI's senior night just before the puck drop. Certainly he's feeling the team on his back here and standing tall on that first opportunity that the Crimson Hawks had on net. But they're right back at it.
Turnover here and sent into the middle. Scrambling at the net are the Hawks, but they're unable to get on top of the puck, as the goaltender does first, and he'll stop it. While the Hawks doing their job in creating chaos in the offensive zone and really making the defenders a little uneasy with those cross-ice passes.
Yeah, certainly Burgess is up to the task so far. Of course, the Crimson Hawks being sort of silent in the offensive zone last night. They're going to be, of course, hard in the zone today. Burgess has sort of been the workhorse starter for the Rhode Island Rams. 10-7-1 record with a .917 save percentage. Certainly his consistency and, of course, that drive to thrive under pressure helps URI get the wins that they do and hopefully gear up for the postseason as the URI coaching staff.
Adams wraps it around in a final hope to get something set up on this power play, but the Rams take it up ice, and with 5 seconds until their man's out, a shorthanded bid is wrapped up by Soy as he took his man out of the play. Still even strength hockey, though, and 1-0 to score early on in this first period.
Yeah, although there was no score in that power play, of course, a great kickstart to the offense for the Crimson Hawks. They were able to apply 3 shots in just those 2 minutes. So currently 4-3, the shot counter sits still in favor of the Rams. But of course, the offense off to a quick start.
Yeah, and where the Crimson Hawks were last night by the time they got 4 shots on, I mean, the Rams had already surpassed double digits in that department. So the Crimson Hawks doing better skating with their men tonight. They still have an early deficit to overcome. There's a stick battle along the wall on the far side. Sala comes out with a high stick. And no call as he is very slow to get up off of the ice behind the net. The scrum still continuing in the same spot as it was. Now it's progressed into the IUP zone. Gray will wrap one around. Wild trying to catch up to it, and he's unable to get to the puck. Oh, huge collision there as Hall taken down to the ice. Lost possession on it as well. And the Hawks finally get the puck out of the zone as Wild, across the center ice line, will dump it into the zone.
Yeah, we saw Sala still wincing on the end of that shift, just waiting for the puck to be cleared. As he comes back to the bench, looks to be in some pain. That's certainly not a good sign for the Crimson Hawks as they're only running 5 defensemen today. Of course, he was paired with Spencer Dixon, So certainly an early issue arising for the Crimson Hawks, and it's now just Zach Soy, Sean Donovan, Spencer Dixon, and Ty Burkett for the defensive core.
Yeah, Burkett with that nice pass into the neutral zone allowed the Hawks to clear it down. And now is where they need to get some pressure 5-on-5. We're about halfway through the period. This tie up below the goal line finally comes out. It'll be Rams puck as they move it forward up ice. Barlow with it. He'll take a hit against the boards as he clears it around the net. And Burkett behind the net. We'll move it to the far side. As Maddox Rear finds London at the red line. He'll just dump it in again as the Hawks get a full line changing. Feed to try to get it deep for the Rams was denied by Dixon. Nice play there to move it into the neutral zone, and then he'll send it all the way down from the red line. Hawks are doing better at getting that puck back, but that possession game still a challenge in this first period. That's Dixon unable to get his man off. Soy's going to rush back and try to get this puck in the corner. And with a backhander, stays in play. Weird bounce. The Rams control it. Got a shot on, and a pad save by Gates. Now it's cleared to the opposite corner where Soy will control for IUP. And Dixon will get it back to Landgraf on the left wing. Facing pressure, he just backhands one off the glass. This one will end up in the Ram zone. So not enough for an icing. And Valente will send a pass forward. Slightly off the mark, but no icing. Also deflected at the red line. One official did put his hand up, the other one didn't, and we play on. Donovan doing well to power through and claim possession there. Burgess settling it behind the net, but found the stick of Adams, who rings it off the post / outside of the net. And now the puck again exiting the zone. as Cordero will send one in on Gates, and he gets snowed as he stops the puck and awaits the whistle with just under 9 minutes to play in this first period.
Alex, I think one of the early game plans here for the Crimson Hawks is they're starting to try and all adopt that fourth line grinding play style from line 1 to line 4. So, of course, we see that line of guys like Connor Winsky, Jeffrey Boker, Nathan Miola out there tonight. Of course, Caleb Hoffman, Landgraf is the 13th forward. Those are all guys that play very gritty and very aggressive down into the corners of the ice. So certainly all of the forwards are going to need to play that way to jar as many pucks loose. So we know that these Rhode Island Rams are very effective when they are passing, especially in the offensive zone.
Oh, if the viewers saw it at the bottom of the screen, you can see there Evan Sala, who exited the ice surface, is now just beside the Hawks bench after that last whistle. Dixon with a huge hit on the far side, but the defense might have to rely on that grinding mentality from the forwards, as they're going to be playing a lot of minutes, especially if 6 ends up out of the game.
Yeah, certainly it's going to be a challenge early.
Ooh, that one sent across off of the stick of Sabo. He was denied on the shot. The Rams with a couple early chances on that rush. The Hawks will progress it forward, trying to find Malloy, but just out of reach. Intercepted, and he'll move the other way with it. Another opportunity for Zachary Bell to move it up ice. On the left wing, trying to cut around Burkett. He kept him on the outside. And he still keeps him there along the far side of the ice. Great pick there by Malloy, trying to start it up ice. And a beautiful feed finds Ty Burkett in on goal, and a beautiful glove save by Burgess to shut him down in the spread eagle formation. And he's just looking in the rafters after that beautiful save.
Yeah, beautiful save for sure that was. Of course, a one-on-one opportunity Ty Burkett sort of found himself in as he sort of springing his man into the boards when he, of course, found himself in that opportunity all alone and, of course, in their offensive zone. But great save, and Hawks look to keep this possession in the O-zone and work the puck where they can.
And the Rams doing well to find that puck, but the Hawks forecheck doing well to get possession back. We missed it on the scoreboard. The play never came back to center, but even on that last rush, the stadium thought it was a sure goal. But, of course, it is a 1-0 game, and it remains there. Working with a nice stick to poke it loose, but still directed to the far side. And now from the high slot, this shot comes in. It will sit in the breadbasket of Gates. 7:07 to go in the period.
We see a little bit more even hockey than we did last night. At this point in the game, it was already a couple goals notched in favor for the Rams. So certainly the Crimson Hawks have found a temporary answer against URI, and they're looking to net one of their own. Certainly they have the opportunities 5-4 now on the shot counter. Still in favor of the Rams. But the offensive pressure is definitely there for the Hawks.
Nice aggressive play by Winsky to draw that puck away from Rams' possession and move it up ice, but he is stopped in the neutral zone. And an opportunity for the defenseman to move it up. He drops it back for the quick shot, and he was denied. That one being Shane Mulhorn, number 11, dangerous in that slot area, especially with the screen in front. The Hawks with possession back. Soy will move it forward. Off the stick of Johnston, progressed for Boker to poke it ahead.
And we see there Jeffrey Boker dropping back into the defensive position. As we mentioned before, Evan Sala leaving. It's one of those 5 defensemen. So now Jeffrey Boker will be on that pairing with Zach Soy now. And we'll see how else this team is going to have to adapt to that injury.
You know, the Crimson Hawks also trying to get physical on the boards. We saw that hit by Johnston in front of the Hawks bench. And the Hawks forecheck also going to rely on it if the puck can stay still long enough in the zone. But the Rams do a good job at moving that puck around as it's already in the Hawks zone below the goal line. Now off the boards, a quick shot saved by Gates. Traffic in front might have deflected it away. And the pass forward doesn't find its target. Cordero forwards it into the zone. And Dixon will find Donovan on the near side. He'll bang one off the boards. Landgraf will move it forward. Maddox Ruark finds Loza on the right wing. Matt Loza with the shot in and out of the glove. Loza with possession back, tried to send one to the middle. Nobody there to receive as it was intercepted. Flag down by Burkett on the far side. He'll move it to Soy this way. And now forward for Landgraf. Tried to spring Loza. Hoffman also joining the rush. Intercepted by Hall. And now moving it up ice, taking a ton of contact was Zabo at the red line. And it comes back into the Rhode Island end.
Yeah, big advancement from last night for the Crimson Hawks. Seemed like the Rhode Island Rams were sort of entering the zone at will. There was not a lot of forecheck. Well, we see a little bit better here tonight for the Crimson Hawks. They're doing a great job standing their ground on the blue line, preventing as many of those breakout tactics that are being applied to them.
Malloy sends one to the opposite corner. And it'll be ported this way. Adams with the backhander. Finds his man behind the net, and he's able to get the puck around to the far side where Barlow is stopped before he could reach the blue line, and still poked into the IUP zone. Donovan trying to defend, and a smart play there as he got down on one knee to block that shot, or at least the pass attempt, and prevent the shot. As Malloy will see it into the opposite end. Behind the net, Shaw will move it forward. Off the boards, turnover force. Malloy with the quick shot and a blocker save. Hawks very opportunistic with these turnovers, but they're converting on shots more often as Soy will forward one to Wild. His deflection goes wide, and the clear off the boards and down the ice. Looks like it'll be icing against the Rams.
See, there's a little bit more of that fourth line mentality doing their work. Of course, Richard Wild, Nathan Miola, and Jacob Gray, the current forwards group out there. Saw that big hit by Gray in the corner. That sort of jarred that puck loose. And of course, turned that opportunity around.
So now the face-off here. And it'll be Gray against Marshall. And Soy will move it forward for Wild. Wide of the net. Bank pass. Miola takes it in stride and reverses the play. But in the process, a whistle as the net slightly off.
Yeah, it seemed like the Hawks sort of had something going there. The high to low rotation, Miola was looking up high, while Jeffrey Boker sort of calling for that one-timed shot.
And Gray unable to get that face-off win there. Let's move to the far side and cleared into the IUP zone. This will be another icing against the Rams, as the two teams will continue to battle it out in the Rams' end. Again, in the final regular season game of the season, the Hawks trying to keep this close. They have the opportunity to turn the heat up with a face-off win here, as this line has been very productive with their passing.
Yeah, definitely a big face-off here. Jacob Gray taking it, and it's won by the Rams, but we're going to see this forecheck get right to work. See if they can push it back down the other way.
Gold moving it this way, and it's cleared into the Hawks' end. A whistle called from center ice. And we'll see what the official signal is, but it looks like it'll come all the way back into the Rams zone. And I can't say icing, because of course it was Gates that came out and played that puck. And now it looks like a neutral zone draw. 3 minutes to go in the first period, and we continue to play 5-on-5.
Yeah, still waiting to hear about what that whistle was for. But of course, 5-on-5, like you mentioned. We'll see the face-off at center ice, won by the Hawks. And it's collected by Soy down low, and they're going to look to kickstart this offense.
Yeah, Donovan with that pass up the middle, trying to find his man. It was poked by a Ram inside of the neutral zone, sent back into the Hawks' end. No whistle on this clear for once. And Soy will settle things, finding Donovan with more room on the far side. Try to find a seam up the middle, and then try to move it to London. Unsuccessful. Maddox Rurick with the interception and a drop pass to find Johnston, who got it to Rurick on the left wing. Trying to make it play from the seat of his pants. Unable to progress that puck. Rams get it back. 2.5 to go in the period. And a little bit under that at that. Gates will get the stoppage. And we'll have another breather here in a very close first period.
Yeah, definitely the momentum feels to be in the middle of the ice. Both of these teams having opportunities in the zone. Of course, we saw what felt like 3 or 4 offensive zone faceoffs for the Hawks. They weren't able to get much started down there. And of course, we see this offensive zone draw here for the Rams. That'll be Cordero taking that draw, and it's won by the Rams.
And they do get possession. Shaw trying to move it across, and he was denied. Now the pass below the goal line. The Hawks will chase after. Moves into the slot. Dangerous opportunity there, but the Hawks crowding the area, not giving any space for that shot to be ripped. This one from the point will go in, saved by Gates. Now clear through the neutral zone. Puck will come this way. Jordan Shaw dumps it to the far corner. Burkett catching up to this puck. Finding Donovan on the near side. Now Landgraf will take a one-touch pass and give it to Loza, who finds Hoffman heading into the zone. Caleb Hoffman hit down low and immediately grabs his head. As another scary contact on the near boards. Will draw a penalty this time. And it's good to see 23 already up. But a dangerous collision there against a team that is already shorthanded.
You know, we see 23 take a lot of contact as he's very speedy and hard to take down. We also see Matthew Loza heading to the box for the Crimson Hawks. So like you said, good to see 23 back up on his feet as he heads to the bench. It's going to be 2 minutes for Matthew Loza and 2 minutes for Max Lockwood for their respective teams. And we'll see what I believe will be 5-on-5 hockey.
Yeah, we'll see what the call is for Loza. Definitely should have been just a minor penalty off the contact, but the retaliation afterwards draws to a 4-on-4 hockey game for the remainder of this period. That's where we will sit as we're at 1:15 to go in the period. We'll also start the second period 4-on-4. Fans looking for a penalty there. Could have been 4-on-3 action for the penalty killers. Instead, the Hawks with possession. They'll move it forward. Soy will head it into the zone. Mace Rurick off the boards, tried to find Malloy. Soy stepping up for the shot as well, but Donovan gloves it down and gets one on Malloy with contact in front, providing the screen, and the deflection goes wide. And there might have been a pad save involved in that skirmish, but Mulhorn's pass up ice will have to wait. Malloy will poke it back into the zone, and now controlling it. Now ahead as Hall leaves one. And a nice play by Sear there to control possession, but the pass into the middle intercepted by Miola. 20 seconds in the period. IUP trying to take full advantage of the open ice. That puck carrying going to result in the physicality the other way. As now with some speed on the far side is Bell. Bell into the zone, wide after the save from Gates. He was able to get in position for that shot. 3 seconds to go in the period. They'll take it out of the zone. And that is how we will leave things after the first period of play. 4-on-4 hockey still on tap in the second period. But after one period, 1-0.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, the momentum still sitting in the middle of the ice. Both of these teams waiting for sort of that breakout. But of course, the score still sits 1-0, and we'll see 30 seconds of 4-on-4 right out of the second period.
Well, as we mentioned in the beginning of the first period, we'll hear from several of the IUP players not participating in today's games and resting ahead of playoffs. We'll hear about their mentality and how the road trip's going, how the season's gone, and, of course, the first period analysis very shortly during the intermission. Stay tuned.